Shalom. How's everyone doing this Thursday afternoon? For those who don't know me, my name is Mr. Andrew Williams. I'm also known as the Prophet of War. Today I'd like to make this a short video, which is going to be part 2. Yes, it is Yah will. This is part 2, the interpretation of the dream I had on the 4th of July dealing with the flood. In part 2, I'm going to give the interpretation why the flood is happening throughout the whole world, especially here in the United States of America. I'm going to try to keep this video short as possible, but if not, please bear with me. In other words, be patient. Part 1 of the video, I share the dream, how Aniyah revealed unto me on the 4th of July, why the whole world is going to be flooded in different parts of the country, especially here in the United States of America, and how is God is very angry, or the wrath of God is coming upon the Sunday churches that are dealing with the political leaders. Now in part 2, this is the interpretation. And one of the interpretation is the flood rising up to flood the country, United States of America, Babylon, is, as we see today, the last few weeks, how it's been flooding here in the United States, different parts of the country. And the flood is also symbolic, not just a literal flood of the wrath of God, but it's also a symbolic, which symbolize the sins of men rising up as man is drowning within their iniquities or their sins. Another interpretation of the dream is the people dying. As they was dying, they was cursing God, raising up their fists, shaking their hands to curse God, talking about they're not going to serve God. They have the right and the free will to live in sin, to commit any kind of sins or iniquity they choose. Treat their children how they want to treat their children, as they please, as they see fit. So that's another interpretation of a dream, how God is showing me in a dream how men want to die in their sins. Don't matter how gross their sin, how much they become enticed in their sin, they're not going to turn from their sins or their wicked eve, especially their sins against little children. Another interpretation, I forgot to mention this in part 1 in the dream, but in part 1 in the dream, God was mocking the people in the dream, say, how is it that you want to serve and worship these gods, but they cannot save you and protect you from these floods? They cannot save you and protect you from death or dying in natural disasters. So the interpretation of that, God gonna rise up his prophets and prophetess to mock the Sunday churches as they died in their sins, to commit all these great sins and iniquities, to serve and worship God and make God sacrifice their children unto death. Say, where is your God to save you and protect you from the flood and all other natural disaster that's about to come? So, and then another interpretation of the dream is God had a group of people on a mountain above the flood as the flood came, which them. There were two groups of that group of people. The first group is the true children of Israel, which I call the lost tribe of Israel. As black people here in the United States of America, we are known as the true Hebrews. And the other group is the Gentiles, different nationality like Spanish, Mexican, Latin, Indians, Koreans, all the Asian nationality, and so on. So you have all the different nationality in this group, along with the true Hebrews of God, as they all kept the commandments of God and had the testimony of Yeshua Messiah, who we call Jesus Christ in this English language. The interpretation of that, they're going to be saved from the flood, and they're going to be protected from all natural disaster that's going to hit this country, not just the whole world, not just throughout the whole world, especially in this country. God's people that keep his commandments and have the testimony of Yeshua Messiah, they're going to be protected from the flood and all other natural disasters like earthquakes, tornadoes, hailstorms, you name it. As the rest of the world, who Sunday believers and Sunday worship, or any other religion that worship the sun god, they're going to face the wrath of God as it rain upon them. Let's see if I remember anything else. I think basically that's it with the interpretation. Oh yeah, the main interpretation of the dream, why God is protecting his people along with the Gentiles of different nationality, is because they actually keep the commandments of God by faith, the 10 Commandments, along having a testimony of Yeshua Messiah, who we call Jesus Christ in the English language. The interpretation of that is very clear, very simple. God is only going to save and protect those and seal those with his salvation who actually keep his 10 Commandments by faith and have the testimony of Yeshua Messiah. If I remember correctly, in the book of Revelation speak of, they kept the commandments. They have the commandments of God, and they have the testimony of Yeshua Messiah, something like that. If I remember correctly, I think that is in the book of Revelation. And this really gonna prove that how the Sabbath God is real, protecting his people, as he is not going to protect the Sunday believers, especially the Sunday Christians, as they choose to worship on the first day of the week, and which we call Sunday. This is really all about, because we are living in a time now that God is actually going to start revealing himself, that he is the almighty living true God through his people, especially through his prophets and his prophetess. So we're going to see more floods. The floods is not going to light up. The floods going to get worse and worse. We're going to hear about more death, especially among the children. We're going to hear about more children dying in the floods and other different natural disasters. There's something I keep forgetting dealing with the children, which is very important. If I remember correctly, in the dream, the interpretation is dealing with the children. It is the reason that all this place is taking place. The Sunday churches had completely got away from the 10 Commandments, especially the 7-day Sabbath, changing the 7-day Sabbath to the first day of the week to work up on Sunday, which is known as Baal or Bala or Gog or Magog, the fire god or the sun god, and so stuff like that. Both the Sunday leaders, especially in the Sunday Christian churches, and the political leaders here in the United States, been sacrificing their children to the sun god. This is the second main thing that God is so angry with the Sunday churches, as they doing harm to innocent little children by selling them to be sex servants, be sexually assaulted, actually being sacrificed to the sun god or Magog or Gog, and also be sex slaves to other people in high position that is filthy rich and have a lot of money and power. So basically, this is what we going on. So from this point on, we're actually experiencing and starting to see the wrath of God rain upon mankind, especially on the Sunday. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Also, another main interpretation, as the Sunday churches is dying in their sins because of the floods and other natural disasters. They're going to start, along with the political leaders, they're going to start calling for unity in all different religions. Everybody come together and worship the sun god on the first day of the week, what we call Sunday, all in unity. So you're going to start hearing a lot more about coming together in unity, no matter what your religion may be. And so you're going to start hearing a lot more in that. So I appreciate you all stopping by to watch and to listen. You all have a good and blessed day. Shalom.